Big Hill Zone on your phone. Money still on. Team is forever, ever strong. We in the building at Bodach Games, the Retro Game Store tour, man. And it's inside a old school bank. And I will say, I forget which bank it was, Merchantville, or Merchant Bank we used to have here in St. Louis, but they bought the building. It used to be downtown, right? But then they bought this building here on the south side. I have the address on the screen for y'all. It's off. I think it's off Broadway, but I had the address up there for y'all at the beginning. And if you missed it, rewind. This is the most unique game store here in the city of St. Louis. I'll just say that off the top. Shout out to John, Elijah, all of the staff that was super duper friendly, and you're gonna get lost in this store. Like I'm gonna pull out some games, but I'm really just gonna be freestyling this video because like if you're looking for something, stuff that had been on the top of your mind or that you never played or you never experienced, odds are Bodak's gonna have it. And this is not the first time it's happened. But they're gonna have what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see it, come back, it'll be there. You don't even have to call. You can, but you don't even have to call when you come up here. And it's just look at how clean and pristine the place is. Like they keep it very, very clean, and they kept the same ambient lighting of the bank. So it's very cozy, it's very homey, it's very, very much vintage in that way. They kept all of the like a lot of the fixtures. They added the shelves. This right here is the D&D area. That's probably where a lot of the clerks would sit back here, and sit down and talk to you about loans and mortgages and all that good stuff. And then, over and it's just chock to the full to the brim, chock full to the brim of gaming goodness. And I'll just say, like, you will get lost and you will had to spend a bunch of time in here looking because the selection is so extensive. And it was stuff in here that I'm gonna show y'all that y'all will see. Y'all gonna have to call it out. I'm not gonna be like, oh, look at this, look at this. Maybe a couple of different things, but you know that once it came out and once it made its run, like this Dragon Ball Z on 3DS, it was gone. Like you can't find it. You can't just easily. It's not easily or readily available like that. Um, and that's what I like about this store. Not everything, and I feel like that right there, that particular game, the Dragon Ball game, um, the Captain America you're gonna see in just a second. Like I think that's a game you keep behind the counter because you just can't readily pick that game up, and those prices are jumping out the window. So when you're going to these different places and you're going and you're looking around, like I said, I probably took some of the games out that I really wanted, but you could probably spot it if you slow the video down. But it's like a museum kind of as well, not just for the bank, but just for the games as well, and just the layout. I like how they got everything laid out. It's almost like a retro game store. Well, not a retro video game store, a retro video store. You know what I'm saying? Because all the different sections and everything else like that. And it's just fun is to spend time roaming around, and then make sure you bring you got your money ready when you come in the door. Like make sure you got at least $100. You're gonna find some things that you really want and really want to buy. You probably should pick up. You know what I'm saying? That if you haven't played it or you hadn't played it in a while, you never owned it. You might have rented it back in the day. If you old like me from Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, Family Video, this is the place to find it. You know what I'm saying? We got a movie section over here, and I just see things and appreciate the selection and appreciate the you know the time that they took to organize it and set it up in this way because it's almost like I feel like I'm at the library as well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm at the video store. I feel like I'm at the library. I feel like I'm checking these out. You know, and a lot of things. Some for the first time. Some for the first time in a long time. And I just love that. Like I love that. We have this particular store, Bodach's, in the area because I go to a lot of different stores and you just don't get this same experience. And then on top of that, having the magic aspect also brings a whole different side and a whole different. I kind of wanted to separate the video because there we do have car shops and comic book shops, and I want to do that tour next. Um, but just off of the size of these game this selection alone is just it's just amazing, and by the time this video comes out, it'll be probably right before or maybe a little bit under a week before the Nintendo Switch 2 drops. But I can't help but reminisce when I'm in here. Like I see games in here, some like this that I never ever seen before, and then some that I remember fondly. I remember playing them. I remember the commercials. I remember seeing uh ads for them in magazines. I remember just it made me come back to a time not just with the games but even in the bank, because I used to go to the bank with my mom a lot. So to see one of the old banks that we may have went, not this location but we have went into, still intact, still beautiful, and then on top of that being stocked full of retro games and trading cards, like it's no better feeling. Like it's just you go from section to section, case to case, shelf to shelf, and it's just like it's like you taking a fresh deep breath every time, and you like, ooh, I want that, I want that. It's like it's not that many stores that I'm walking in and I'm like, man, I want to buy everything. I get that feeling when I'm at Bodach's. And it's a drive for me. You know what I'm saying? It's about 30 minutes um away from me. And a lot of these stores are like 30, 45 minutes away from me. But the point is, I make the drive every time, and especially over here, in this part of the South Side, is very a lot of historic buildings and historic places and streets and things of that nature. A lot of St. Louis history happens within blocks of this place. And then, being at inside of this bank, it just brings me into a different era, a different place in my life where, I didn't have bills, I didn't have responsibilities. It was just, me, my games, a pizza on a Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Those all the things that were important to a kid after he did his homework and made sure he did his chores and stuff like that for the weekend. And then, um, as far as Magic and Pokemon and stuff like that, I haven't been out on the scene, but I've been paying attention, and I see that everybody is congregating, hanging out. I think I seen a couple in here playing Magic, and here's the bank vault. Like this is a real bank vault, and then they got the Sega Dreamcast standee in here. It's just Bodex is just a very very special place, and it holds a very very special place in my heart. As do the other stores, but this one in particular is a real treat, man. If you're in the area, y'all make sure y'all pop up and visit. It's Big Kill Zone on your phone. Money still long. Team is forever ever strong. And this is the Retro Game Store Tour. We at Bodex. Check and see where we going next, man. We out.